Paris lockdown, day 17, and I've got a fantastic lesson for you today. I've got some great questions that you sent in that I'm going to answer on vocabulary, on grammar. We'll do that in a moment. Start with a couple of idioms. I like to start with a couple of idioms, and the first one, I'll put that away. The first one is to be in the same boat. To be in the same boat. So, for example, your friend calls you and says, "I'm really not happy because I can't go out. I can't meet my friends. I can't go to the beach. I can't go to the gym." And you say, "Hey, but why are you complaining? We're all in the same boat." And all that means is we're all in the same situation. And the next expression is to have a bad hair day. To have a bad hair day. Actually, believe it or not, this expression has nothing to do with hair, or generally, no. It's more about everything going wrong at a certain time. So, I don't know, you wake up, you have an argument with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, and then your boss starts shouting you, and then you trip up and say, what's wrong? I'm just having a bad hair day, frankly. Okay, so it just means things are going badly. Actually, it can, of course, literally having a bad hair day. Well, for me, every day is a bad hair day. But and this time of lockdown, yes, it's literally a bad hair day for everyone. No one can get their hair done. Can you imagine when lockdown ends and people start walking in the street again with all this bad hair? It's going to be like zombies of the apocalypse out there. And last night I was wasting time on YouTube, and just an experiment, I typed in just the word "how" in the search box, and autofill came up. The first suggestion was how to cut your own hair. Yeah, that's what people are doing. Are you doing that? Are you doing that? Are you cutting your own hair? Let me know in the comments. I'll put a photo. Put a photo in the comments. Show us how to do it. Make a video and show us how to do it. Okay. You'll get a lot of hits. Right. On to your questions. Okay, let's have a look. First question from Vicente Olmos. What's the difference between lots of and a lot of? Well, that's an easy one. There's no difference at all, okay? Got lots of time, got a lot of time. Got lots of coffee, got a lot of coffee. Lots of people, a lot of people. Exactly the same, okay? They're used interchangeably. Okay, the next question from Banner Success. Could you explain the phrase "can ill afford"? That's an interesting question, because we're going to look at the ill prefix, because you know the word ill, you're thinking, oh, that means sick, isn't it? Well, it's another word of sick. Well, yes and no. By the way, we have a video on the difference between sick and ill. Check it out up here somewhere. But ill can sometimes be a synonym of sick, but not always. There's another meaning of ill, and that is, well, you see that as a prefix. So you have ILL dash and then the adjective. What it means is bad or badly. So, for example, ill afford would mean I can badly afford. I can't afford. So, for example, I can ill afford to take time off work at the moment. I'm very busy and I can ill afford to take time off work. So, I mean, it's a bad moment. I'll give you some more example. No. He's a very ill-tempered young man talking about the current crisis. Some countries are ill-equipped to fight the virus, ill-equipped medically to fight the virus, okay? I'm walking around a dark street at night. I might say it is ill-lit. I don't want to walk down this ill-lit street, okay? You can be ill-informed. Well, why did you come to Paris? Well, I came to the Paris for the nice weather and the beach. Huh? It's raining all the time and then there's no beach. Oh, yeah, I know. I was ill-informed. Okay. You could say that a couple are ill-matched. Bob and Mildred, they're together, but they're so different. They're a very ill-matched couple, I would say. And the Titanic, that was an ill-fated voyage. Okay? Right. So there you are, a few examples of how to use ill. And yes, a video in more detail on our website. Next question from Artur Costa Steiner. Do we say hospital or the hospital? Okay, I'm going to hospital. I'm going to the hospital. That's a good question. And there is a difference between British and American English here, because in British English, I think you're more likely to say hospital. I'm in hospital at the moment, and American English, the hospital. But there are some words where you're not talking about the place, the physical building around you. You're talking more about the idea of the institution or the place or the thing. So in those cases, you drop the definite article. So I'm in hospital. I'm at school, not at the school. Where are you? I'm at school. I'm at college at the moment. Okay, not at the college. Okay, so it's the institution, not the building. He's in prison, not in the prison. Home as well. I'm at home, not at the home. No. And also you could say in bed and in the bed. There's a difference there. You know the difference. So in the bed is the physical place. Okay. The thing that you sleep on each night. Well, I hope you have a bed. I slept in the bed and it wasn't very comfortable. But bed is the idea of a sleeping place. So I'm going to bed. You don't have a bed. No, I know, I'm going to sleep on the floor, but I'm still going to bed. Okay? So no article in that case. So there's a difference between in bed and in the bed. Next question from Alexander Bacharishvili. I hope I pronounced that okay. The difference between last and next and the last and the next. Okay. So if you put the article, it means final one. So this is the last time that I tell you to do that. Okay, the final time. This is the last time we're going to meet for a while because we're going into lockdown. Okay, the final time. Last means the one before now. Okay. Usually before a time reference. Last week I saw an interesting movie. Last night I met Sally. Okay. Last Tuesday I was in the helicopter. The next means the one after this in a sequence. In the next video I'm going to play the ukulele. Okay. But next, before a time reference, you don't put the article. So see you next time, next week, next Tuesday, next Thursday. See you next Tuesday. See you next Tuesday. Yeah. The next question is from Ionelia Unsemniuc from Romania. Hello, Ionelia. I hope I'm pronouncing that okay. But you do ask a good question. Could you please explain the difference between stare, gaze, and glance and glimpse? Okay. Shall I demonstrate that? I'll try and demonstrate it. To stare. To gaze. To glance. And to glimpse. Is that clear? Okay, thank you. Next question. No, okay. I explained a bit more. So to stare means like to fixate on one thing, and it can be quite rude. What are you staring at? Okay, so to fix your eyes on one thing is to stare. To gaze has a similar kind of meaning, that you're looking steadily at one thing, but it can be more positive as well. I gazed in you at admiration. I gazed at her across the room. Okay, so it has a kind of more positive idea, gazing, or you can just gaze into space. You're not looking at anything particular, but you're just looking outwards. Next, we'll look at glimpse, which can be a noun or a verb, often used with catch, to catch a glimpse of something. So I looked over there and I just caught a glimpse of her leaving the room. Okay, so I saw her momentarily or partially. Let me have a glimpse at your homework. Ooh. And then we have a glance, which means to take a brief or hurried look. I glanced. I looked quickly across. I took a quick glance to see where she was. I glanced through the window and then went back to my work. So there you are. I hope that's cleared up that confusion. And thank you once again. And stay healthy. As always, I'll see you very soon. Carry on sending in your questions on grammar and vocabulary. Bye.